It would make a tragic story. Benji Marino, 14, kills himself in a venture to paradise. A catchy title for the announcements on the Wishville News before the morning weather report. On the other hand, he might survive. I started reading Leaving Wishville around a year ago. My friend Mel Torrefranca published and wrote the book, and I bought it to support her. I think it's important to support your friends who are in artistic endeavors like being an author or a filmmaker, musician, etc. And I began reading the book and I got about a chapter in. However, I was extremely busy with work at the time. I was traveling a lot and I forgot to finish the book. During the pandemic, I found myself to have lots of more time on my hands and I decided to pick up the book again. I realized on flipping to chapter 2 that I wanted to make a cinematic interpretation of Leaving Wishville. I reached out to Mel and to my delight, she was super excited to make a cinematic adaptation of Leaving Wishville. The idea of adapting this concept into hopefully one day a feature-length film, and that all starts with a short film proof of concept. Let's start from the beginning. At the time I was unemployed and I was a few months behind on my apartment bills, as pretty much everyone was. I decided to scrounge up all of my money, get myself out to the West Coast, and get an Airbnb for myself and all of my California buddies who drove up to help me on the project. Last day in California. About to go to the airport and edit Wishville. Oh yeah. I hit a roadblock while editing, and I decided that I was going to step away from Leaving Wishville for around a month. As soon as I started working in Wishville once again, I began negotiating and developing a documentary series with some people up north. And then soon after that, I had the opportunity to travel to Atlanta and work on a few projects, which ultimately led to me moving out to Atlanta. There's a lot on my plate, and I haven't been able to resume my work on Wishville the way that I wanted to. However, I just finished working on a show, and now I have a lot of free time on my hands, and I'm dedicating myself to completing Leaving Wishville once and for all. Well, not once. I've dedicated myself to finishing the locked cut of Leaving Wishville, because once I finish that, I can now focus on producing the additional media that I need. And in order for me to move on with that second unit production, I need to finish all of the first unit editing right here. Before I begin, I want to set a list of tasks or main focuses that I need to prioritize in order to make progress on the film. One of them being original music. I'm currently working with Aileen, who's composing an original piece for one of the scenes that I'm really excited about. I had a meeting with her yesterday, and so while she works on that, I will be working on some other elements of the edit. So I am trying to figure out how to position this one particular scene. And I'm still trying to figure out whether or not I should delete it. So just kind of I'm trying to find a place for it because I think it's valuable. So. Tomorrow I'm going to start working on pacing, but as far as ensuring that the narrative is there, it's there. We're good. So now tomorrow, when it comes to pacing, I have to look for some alternative performances because right now I have general ones out here laid out. So pacing is for tomorrow. But today was a good day. So now that everything is in place and our narrative, our story has been set onto our timeline, now it's time to clean up some of the clips there and focus on pacing. that's perfect. Yes. So I've made some significant progress so far on leaving Wishville. I'm going to put in the placeholders and film them this weekend, and I'm going to send them out to my cousin Joaquin, who is an amazing director who lives out in Barcelona, Spain. Really, really talented guy. So now the mission is just to have everything ready so I can send this over to Joaquin and he can give me some constructive criticism to make the piece better. From there, I'm going to take those notes back, follow through with some second unit production, pickup shots, etc. I'm really excited to share it with Joaquin, and I'm also really nervous to see what he thinks because I know there's plenty more work to do, but I'm not exactly sure what that work might consist of or what it might entail because I've just seen this so many times. I need a fresh perspective, and I'm nervous for the criticism, but I also need and I'm excited for that criticism. So just kind of finalizing some things, gonna put in some placeholders and then send out the cut. So yeah, very nervous. ¿Cómo estás? How are you?
Bien, bien, cansado un poco. Ha sido un fin de semana intenso.
But with Wishville, it's like I've just seen it too much that like I know there's so much to do. I know it's wrong. I just don't know what's wrong.
I think that you have a good piece. The only thing that I didn't like too much was the editing. I think that maybe you were trying to get the best of the acting, the best reaction, the best that, and in that effort, I think that you have lost the moment, the naturality of the moment to let it flow a little bit more,
right?
You know, because it feels like you are getting the best part of this moment of the scene, and then the best part of this one, and then you have like a big amount of cuts, and you are always like feeling a rhythm that is not what the scenes is asking for, you know?
Yeah, it is very just there. The lines are delivered, and it's kind of it's not intentional.
Yes, exactly. It's you don't feel like these cuts are intentional. You feel like you start this TV editing way that is camera B, camera B, and maybe you need to let it flow that a little bit more, you know, trust more in the acting, because I think they do it very good. They are good actors, and you have great shots. I like the way you exposure, the lighting is very good. Those are like, you know, technical stuff. I think that the most important thing, you are showing up a lot. There's always I think we have a lot of information, and I'm not saying it about the script. That's very good, but you know, when he steps in his house, we see the step, then we see his face, then we go back to the step, you know. So this editing mode is like you somehow you stop the short film moving forward, because you always come back to underline something, you know.
I totally see that. The point of each cut is to move it forward, and that one doesn't seem to do that by any means. It's stopping that momentum.
For example, just I think that it's the best example is when the bean scan goes how you say falls in the bridge, I see that you have the black. Yes, because you need to film. Why? You don't need it, and you have two black videos. You will use it 2 times. You don't need it not once. You don't need it. Now we know that these beans can falls. You know.
Cut that. I can cut that out of her saying the beans thing. Then, right? I can cut her saying that.
You just need the sound, and she says it's a can of beans. Once that I saw it and I heard the sound of the can and the rolling sound, I knew it was the can. I knew it. You don't need it. And I say it, and I'm very specific in this because this is the example of what I'm feeling in the entire shelf. You know,
right.
It's like you mistrust your audience, so it gets a very fast cuts and a lot of information that I don't need. You know, let the audience construct things in their minds. Don't give it them all.
Yeah, it's honestly, I think it's just there's such limited footage that I feel the need to show as much as I can with what little I have. But it's like I have all that I need. It's just kind of overcompensating. It seems like for sort of my, I guess, lack of performances. It's like I have a limited amount of performances, and so it's like, how do I maximize the best of everyone? It's like, no, I need
exactly. Yes. Mm-hmm. There are always 3 films: the one you imagine, the one you shot, and the one you edit.
Right.
You have to detach. You have to get detached of a lot of things and let it flow. Find your new movie.
Right.
You know.
Mm-hmm.
Find the new one. Find it. Forget the others one. Because this is your movie.
Mm-hmm.
Is this. Now this is the point that the other 2 movies need to die. So kill them and make your movie and feel it and let it flow with things that are 100% your taste and things that sometimes you don't like it. You feel a little bit uncomfortable with it, but you need it. Not you. The movie needs it, and let it be. It's very beautiful when you let your films be. They don't need you anymore. That's what you need to do. Don't need your explanation. And I was thinking that no, this scene, I thought this scene in another way, but I got this and no. It needs to be one thing apart from you.
Right.
Saying this is very easy to me, but this is so fucking easy. This is just words. It's a kind of thinking. Okay, nice. Yeah. So then do this other thing.
Of course.
I know.
Yeah.
And as you and me, I know we are equals in that. Is that we always have our camera and time and will to shoot new things that will fix the other stuff. You know, you never end.
Yeah,
it never ends. I know how you feel. I absolutely know how you feel.
Thank you for your help and understanding and patience.
No, you're very, very welcome. You count on me.
Thank you. All right, I'll leave you to it. All right, see you.
I'm so happy to see you.
Me too. We'll talk soon. So much has changed since I first began working on the Leaving Wishville short film, and now I was recently unemployed, and I was living in New York City, and my life was about to get very difficult. Now, as this chapter is coming very close to an end, I'm living in Atlanta, Georgia, working on some of the coolest shows out there with Marvel and Netflix as a crew member. So much has changed, and with that, my skill and experience and maturity as an artist and as a filmmaker has grown with that, I've tried to change the short film into something that it wasn't really designed to be. And as I pushed and pushed and pushed, in reality, I was pushing the short film further away from the finish line than closer to it. And this conversation with Joaquin was a really big wake-up call for me. It's weird, knowing that the end is somewhat near. When I started this project, I didn't expect it to take me this long to finish it. I also didn't expect my life to be very busy. When I started this project, I was struggling. This momentum and excitement towards life that I had going for me, this opportunities, all these things just fell apart in 2020, as did most people, but it really struck me and it really hurt. And I'm so grateful to have had this project to keep my mind company, to occupy my mind with something productive instead of destructive things. This project kept me creative and challenged me and kept me thinking, and I am just so grateful to Mel, who is the author of the original novel, for granting me the opportunity to explore this world and express this idea and tell her story in this form of a short film. And inevitably one day, let's all keep our fingers crossed, of a real movie, of a real film. So I really got nothing to say except thank you. I am excited for the projects that lie ahead. I've been writing a project with a great friend of mine, Ethan Toth, that we are just so excited to bring to life and bring into production. This original series, a pilot episode, is just such an amazing idea, and I really am excited to bring it to life. And as soon as this Wishville project wraps up, we're going all out on that series concept. It's going to be amazing, and I can't wait for you all to see it in probably a couple years. Making movies is very difficult, very time consuming. But it's so worthwhile, and it's so fulfilling. It's a nearly impossible art form, the art of filmmaking, but it is the most fulfilling art form to involve oneself in. This project really brought me a lot of meaning in a time when things started to feel meaningless. And now that I've found meaning in some other things in my life now, I found meaning outside of this project. It has carried me throughout this difficult time. Now that I have opportunities, now that I have this potential sort of sparked in my life again, I am excited to complete this Wishville project and share it with you all after the festival circuit, of course. So it'll still be some time till you see it, even after it's done. But nonetheless, I'm very excited to finish it and share it with you all. I'm going to get back to editing this short film, and I think I have some paperwork I got to do as well. So I'll leave myself to that. Thanks for watching. Take care.